activation, you're going to pick one arm and you're going to put it up by your ear. And if you have any injury or anything that means that this wouldn't be good for you to do, it's your job to take care of yourself. And so if this is not good for you, you can put your arm straight out, or even straight down. But the ideal is up by your ear. Your other hand is going to be offering resistance, and it's not going to be on your elbow joint. It's not going to be on your shoulder joint. It's in between the elbow and the shoulder. All right? So this hand is going to be pushing away, and my straight arm is going to be resisting. It's an isometric movement. So let's take a breath in. And as we exhale, we're going to push our straight arm in towards our ear. And when we're finished exhaling, we're going to reach to the ceiling. And then bring our hand to the front. So we're just rotating this hand around. So now I'm on this soft under tissue flesh. I'm going to take a breath in. And when I exhale, I'm going to push straight down. You're not in a contest of which side is stronger. Reach up to the top. Go to the outside by your deltoid, and you're going to exhale and go straight out. Reach up. And then in the picture, you can see that person is very flexible and she has her arm behind, but that doesn't work very well for me, so I prefer to keep my hand in front. And take a breath in. And exhale, push straight back. And reach up to the ceiling. And then relax your arms. Can you look at my picture and see which side I just did? Can you notice? And so one way to check is if you take your arms straight out and clap them and see if one side is maybe a little bit longer than the other. So I like to pause in the middle there between the two sides to really give people the opportunity to go, wow, this feels different. Maybe you didn't know it felt bad at first. But now that you have a comparison, you're ready to do the other side. How do you do inhale and exhale with a little person? One great way is to have them speak while you're doing this, because by speaking, they're exhaling. But what you're going to do is raise one arm, the opposite side of what you just did. And because I specialize in early childhood, I like to start with the ear because people know what the ear is. It's too hard to explain to a 3-year-old the soft, fatty part of the underside of their arm. So I tell them, put your hand by your ear. And then we're going to take a breath in. And when we exhale, we're going to say our name out loud. Ready? And then my name is Cindy. And then I reach for the ceiling. And then I'm going to go here to the underside. I'm going to take a breath in. And this time I'm going to count to 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Reach to the ceiling. And now I'm going to the outside. And you're all so smart, I bet you can count backwards from 7. Ready? 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reach. And then we have to go to the back. If you're really flexible, you can go like that. I find that tightens up my neck too much, so I like to be in front. And I'm just going to breathe loudly. And reach. And then you can shake it out. Check your arm lengths again. Do your clap. See if you got better. Looks much better. Why would you want to do the arm activation? What's it going to help children with? What's it going to help adults with? What's its relationship to learning?
Well, I remember it by telling my audiences, isn't it interesting in our culture when we want to say something, we raise our hand. So if you think about your lungs and your diaphragm, and if you're a singer, it just opens this space up, you know. this is, if you're a singer, this isn't a great posture, but it just opens this up to communicate.
Excellent. Love it. So you're saying it would be good for speech and communication. And it says right in the Brain Gym Teachers Edition, every one of these movements has behavior and posture correlates. And so it talks right in there about improved postural alignment. So just the fact that I raise my arm, you can see that I'm putting myself back into alignment, especially if I'd been walking around like this. I can't really raise my arm effectively until I adjust that posture. And adjusted posture and alignment is going to affect focus and attention. Because when I'm slouchy and forward, by default, I'm over-focused. If I'm slouching back and just hanging out, I'm under-focused. And so when I do this arm activation, that's helping me get my focus more available.
I also wanted to add something, developmentally, that a lot of kids that have trouble with handwriting, with fine motor, we find that if we release tension in the shoulders, many times they won't have to hold that pen so hard, and they won't have that much pain when they write, and they'll write more freely and loosely.
Isn't that beautiful? We're so tempted to want to work down here at the ends of the fingers, and so often it's about starting in the shoulder girdle. And not just on the dominant side that's doing the writing, but by doing both sides so that both sides are sending information up to the brain, which means there's this crisscross going on, and helping the brain to get that idea of what does it mean to relax. Because you cannot tell someone that only knows this, just let it go and relax. They don't know how. And so we have to give them a physical way to do that, and then they feel relaxed. That's why I stop in the middle so that the one side sends a message to the other side of, hey, you might like this too. All right, super powerful movement. When you're doing this with somebody, if they're not able to cross the midline and offer their own resistance, if that's too much motor planning for them, you can do this to somebody. So you could stand behind a client. But if he was in front of me, he could put both arms up. I could put my hand on his arms and say, press against my hands. And so he could be doing both sides at once, and he's not having to cross the midline. I'm doing it for him. And for some children, it's too hard to move both sides at once, so you might still do one side at a time, but you're offering the other hand. Of course, it goes even simpler. Just, simple arm circles is another great variation for arm activation, because that's moving your arm in all directions. Hey, Bonnie, what's up?
A fun way to do it is to get a partner and have be just opposite your partner with both your arms out, and have, so their elbow would be at my fingertips. So fingertips to elbow were connected. And so Cindy, put your hands down. So if we were partners,
Yeah.
I would be pushing up, she'd be pushing down.
Cool.
And then in and out as well. And it's just a fun way to do it with a partner. And we love to do it with each other.